Right, so pitching, particularly those shots kind of 30 to 80 yards. I don't know if you're like me, but you definitely feel sometimes like I'm probably better from 200 yards than I am in that range, which sounds ridiculous. So I've set myself up on TrackMan a 70-yard shot, which should be a fantastic number for me. So I've got my 56 degree, I use the clock face method, so I'm gonna get my hands for about 9 o'clock. And hit the shot. So in theory, this should be something that I can hit really close on a regular basis. Oh, there's one of the bad ones where I feel like the hands are really involved. It's left, it's long, and it's just an absolute horror show from that range. So, then I think the problem becomes, because I'm not really sure kind of what I'm doing, then I'll try and correct it for the next one. And then we go from long left to short right, just laying up beautifully from 70 yards. And I'm going to say for a golfer at my standard, I mean, just hitting the green is not good enough, but certainly when hitting those kind of shots, it is soul destroying having hit good shots to get there to not finish it off. So you might notice I've got my hack motion on my wrist. Now, I've used this a lot in the past for my full swing, but it's really been insightful for my pitch shots as to what I do well and what I don't do well. So if I were to just hit one more, and I'll show you some numbers on here. I feel like setup's pretty decent. Oh, and then that's the low drivey one in there. See, it's straighter. It's actually going to be okay result-wise. It's actually a really good result. But when we look at the numbers here on hack motion, first thing we see is that address is what it is. Saying I actually got back to a decent place at impact, but in the backswing, it's saying that that wrist is far too cupped. And I definitely feel that in my swing. So what I need to feel then is, what do I need to do? What's the feeling I need here? I know that sounds ridiculous because I can kind of do lots of different things on the way back and generally be pretty good at getting the club back in the full swing. But pitching kind of feels like, because there's so little time for me to do it, that I need to get better at learning how I need to be here so that everything's as simple as possible and there's less moving parts at impact. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the volume up, maybe a little bit more than that. And what we'll now hear is that when I get into that good position on the way back, now from there, I can just turn through. And it definitely feels with me that sometimes I get too cupped and the club face is wide open, then I have to flash it with my hands. Sometimes I'm too hooded with the club face, and then I almost hold the club off. So it just becomes really, really inconsistent. So let's rehearse that position on the way back, get some nice feedback. So that's better there. And that definitely feels like that wrist joint is on top of the club a little bit more. Okay, so as a practice swing, I feel I'm pretty good with that. Now on the actual swing, maybe didn't feel quite as good. I mean, hack motion there saying I was decent halfway back. And I think we can see there, that one just scurrying onto the front edge of the green. So I much prefer that as a miss. And it was much more, felt much more simple as I'm doing it. So again, I'm gonna set up. That's the one where I feel like I'm too hooded. Okay, that's better. And then I can just turn my chest through the shot. Maybe felt a little bit more handsy. So we can see there, the shot, much more at the flag, Middle of the green, not by no means stone dead, but a much better result. And we can see there though, even though the top of the swing and impact weren't perfectly in the range, they were much closer, and for me it just feels, like I said, much more simple. Normally I feel like I've got to use my hands a lot through the bottom. I think there's a time and a place for that in my pitching, but certainly I want to feel almost that once I'm good on the way back, I can just turn into impact and continue through. And it definitely feels on the way through like the face is a little bit more to the sky, where I might normally wrap the club over a bit more. So again, let's rehearse that in the backswing. Yeah, I can definitely feel there. That's good. And as I go a little longer, definitely tend to cup underneath a little bit. Right, that was better. I've got the feel. Now can I execute? I didn't hear the noise at all there, so I wasn't quite there. But again, look at the quality of the shot. Don't know why TrackMan's not tracking that all the way onto the green, but you see the little white dot there, nestled next to the flag. It's gone 73 yards total, carrying 69. Now, definitely what I start to see there is, as I'm getting a bit closer to that range, seeing a big improvement in consistency of shot. And like I said, I don't want to get to that point where I'm happy just hitting the greens, but like there, every single one's got on the green. Some of them have got closer than others, but the more dialed in I get with that feel, my carry distance for there should be 66. So that was 69. So I'm getting closer, but not just distance control, but accuracy. And remember, if you can get that ball nearer to the flag or nearer to the hole when you're playing 30 to 70, 80 yards, it's definitely going to help you get that score down. So again, we're going to rehearse. Definitely feels different there. Doesn't feel as cupped. And it's funny because I might have said I was maybe a bit the other way on there, but let's get that again, rehearse it, and then I can turn my body through. Now that felt the best. Certainly impact was good. Certainly on the way back, not quite as good. But again, another shot there. Middle of the green, probably 25, 30 foot, so not ideal. But anytime I'm getting the putter out at the moment from that range, it's better than it has been. But, you know, I'm always a big fan that when you get a chance to practice, you should always try and get your feedback as good as possible. Now, I'm very fortunate that I've got TrackMan, but that's only telling me what's happening at impact with the club. Sometimes I need that feel as to what I need, not just at impact, but what I do there to make that easier to get back at impact. And when I can do that, it should be much easier to stand up, put a decent swing on it, and we can see that one there just right at the flag. It's not loving the finished ball position today, but that one just getting a little bit past the flag, but again, middle of the green. And if I can get that little bit of feedback, potential like you might need on those pitch shots, it's going to help me never miss the green from that range, which sounds a ridiculous comment as a pro. But as long as I'm giving myself a chance with the putter, it's always better than me having to play another chip or a pitch or a bunker shot from there. So learn what you need to do. Be able to get that feel, and that little bit of audio feedback's great. Get the feel for what you need. Become more consistent in what you do, and it's bound to produce more consistent results.